Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Gemini. The sun is in Aquarius. Aquarius is a sun. The sun is a dwarf star. So here comes the same energy. One is smaller, one is bigger, but further away. And so we are gonna really feel this. I want to show who I am. I want to show the light that I am connected with. And so this is giving the light to the moon, which are your feelings and your subconscious, and that is in Gemini. And so this combination today has nothing to do with your birth chart. It's just that's the moment where I can receive the information, because we have to, of course, understand that the moon is the subconscious. That's how I can bring you the information, and the sun plays a big part in there. Otherwise, we wouldn't even know that a moon exists, right? And so the light of the sun through Aquarius is now bringing you a light into the subconscious in how you communicate, in how you love yourself. The Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the Fool in the tarot, so there comes also that aspect. And you are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the Magician, and so we also see what's happening there, right? The yoga position for Aquarius side plank, I'm stretching one side up and the other one is anchored on the earth, right? So it's a beautiful way of showing I am up in the air, but I'm also connected here on the ground. And for you, I have the most beautiful pose, which is King Pigeon. And you see that you're using your arms. That's the body part that is connected to you. You are, as the Gemini, the Knight of Swords, right? That's your court card, which is a different date when the sun is in Gemini. So it's your birthday between May 10th and June 9th, then is this your court card. Have a look down below. I have listed all of them there. You are, as a Gemini, always the one that loves to communicate, and so the communication is heightened. And you are the third zodiac sign, and as such also the third house of communication and interaction. And that's where you're good at, right? Good. Back to the last reading where we had Capricorn Sun giving Taurus Moon the light. The message came, be the goddess that knows how to turn the wheel of fortune. A very beautiful message came here to you, right? In that we could see that here is the Hangman and of course the Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune came twice. And so the Wheel of Fortune is always that moment where we recognize Jupiter is working on us, and Jupiter has gone direct in Gemini, and so you're gonna feel that push going forward again. And we see that the Knight of Swords has gotten the Ten of Cups, which is Mars in Pisces. We read to the left to your new moon, which you have in your month, and in your opposite sign you always have your full moon, right? That's where Sagittarius comes into play. So here the 10 and the 3 is the 13. There's a transformation in the way you are now seeing your happiness, because happiness is something that comes always from deep within. It's not about the people that surround you, but it's like how much can you accept what's happening around you, how much you can actually contribute to that happiness in a community, right? Because the 10 is like, that's the people that we love, right? And so the 13 turns into a 4. And the 4 is then the stability that you have gained by using here this happy moment. What is coming from the mother piece tarot? You have the 10 of Swords slightly to the right, which is Sun in Gemini. And it's really interesting because the 10 of Swords is pointing to you, and that's the sun in Gemini, and that's the moment where you're going to have your moon. So we can go back or we can go and look forward. Because it's pointing to the right, remember when something points to the right, it's like that outer path to the full moon. But when we become the energy of the cards, right, then it's going inwards. And so there is always a cyclical energy happening within the cards. But where is the cycle starting? Is it going to the right? Is it going first to the left? And when we become the card, right, then we see it's the opposite direction. So here, the 10-10 portal, Sun in Gemini, is a very intense card. The moment where you realized, okay, I'm really letting go of this kind of thinking that maybe I'm not good enough, thinking that I need to explain who I am. So you have a 10-10 portal. But now since it's pointing here, I leave this 10, and the 10 and the 3 is the 13th. So this is maybe the 13th of October, right? Observe if there was something happening in this constellation. And so then the 4 comes here through the 13, because we always want to calculate down to 1-digit numbers. So the 4 and here the 1, that turns into a 5. The 5 is use your 5 senses to recognize what's happening here. You have the 10 of Cups, which is a beautiful state of consciousness, and now you have the 10 of Swords, which is you are really letting go of this type of thinking. And so observe, right, that that's really something that you can be proud of. Then we're going to look into the Magician, and the Magician brings you the Beloved, and the Beloved is the 5. And so here you see that the 5 has come from the Court card into the Magician. The 5 and the 1 is the 6. The 6, that's you. And the 6 is always understanding self-love, understanding that I have to be there for myself. I'm holding my heart. And he's the Magician that plays with all 4 elements. And the heart is, of course, air. And you are an air sign, right? And so understand that you holding your heart in your hands, and the 6 appears. What is coming from your deck? The Queen of Swords is coming. Now the Queen of Swords is Libra, and you see she's looking at this heart. She's looking at what you're holding here in your hands, and she's questioning it, right? She's also an air sign. She's the Queen of Swords. You're the Knight of Swords. She's the 7th zodiac sign. So the 5 and the 7 is the 12. That's the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man came last time up, and he didn't bring you an archetype. You were able to fill in your own archetype. And so see that the 12 then becomes a 3. The 3 is again Venus. Venus is like, I am creating my love, right? And so it's a beautiful moment where I can really rest in. The 3 and the 1 is the 4. Again, the stability to know that you create this state of consciousness. What is coming from the Mother Peace Tarot? We get Pluto. We get the Last Judgment. Here it's just judgment, and you see the Ankh is connected here with Venus. You see the white star, you see the rainbow colors covering the earth, and this is what's happening now, right? We define ourselves in many different colors now. We're not only having one spectrum of color, and it's important that you connect in your devices to the orange light, right? Otherwise you only have the blue light coming into your retina, and it's important that you are protecting yourself from that. Now the 20 plus the 3 is the 23, the 5, right? So see that you understand very clearly here the message. The 20 and the 7 is the 27, that's then a 9. And here the 5, we have the 6, right? That's you. You are feeling now here through the 9, the completion, that you see up here, that through love we can let people be the way they are. Now, What is, of course, Libra saying when she's looking at this? The Eight of Wands is coming. Mercury in Sagittarius. And that's Mercury, the magician, right, which is ruling you. So Mercury through Sagittarius is your opposite sign. That's where you see the action, that things happen really fast when we lovingly take on people and let them be the way they are. And so it's not always easy, right? Certain moments are very difficult to handle the differences of people. And so the 8 and the 7 is a 15. The 15 then is Capricorn. Capricorn, be the goddess that knows how to turn the wheel of fortune. And so the 15 again, you get a 6. So you have a 6 portal here with Mercury, with the magician, right? And the 20 here. So things gonna happen really fast, and you're gonna see that that's important. Now, what is the last judgment bringing? It's bringing man, myself, humankind. And this is a very beautiful card. I'm gonna read it to you, but first I want you to have a look at it. So here it says, to be one with yourself, to be one with the space around you as well, to be one, all and everything, to be the symbol of a symbiotic shared expression of self and others, to be a part of a greater whole, solo yet integral to the shared tribal soul, to be your own starling in the global murmuration, cloaking and floating with feathered inspiration. Wow. And so you get a 2020 portal here, which then becomes here the 22. And the 22 is the Fool, is letting yourself drop into the flower of life, letting yourself be with whatever now is coming through this community, through this new type of coming together, and you letting go of this, right? The 10 of Swords. You rather die than you being held hostage. This is the Thelma and Louise card, right? And so the 10-10 and now the 20 and again a 20, it's kind of like a 60 together, right? And in that 60 is again the 6, the love, the beloved, holding dear what you think is really important now going forward into the future, right? Humankind, man, myself, etc. And so it's a really beautiful message that I see here coming to you, right? Through, of course, Mercury, through the one that brings the language, that brings the brain to all of this. And it's gonna happen really fast. What is the soul bringing to you? The 7 of Swords, which is the moon in Aquarius. We have the sun in Aquarius, right? So not the moon, but you see that something is sneaky here. The 7 and the 6 is the 13. The 13 again, Scorpio, death, transformation. Something needs to change because you had 10 swords and 7 swords. That's 17 swords. 17 swords is, of course, here Aquarius, and Aquarius is going to bring a lot more information, a lot of more problems and mental restrictions that really push us to the next level, right? And so we really need to go deep within and learn to connect to the heart. The heart is a magnetic energy that needs to be used. So here something comes towards you that's not so clear, right? Either doubt or the victimhood that you still believe in. What is bringing Aquarius? It's bringing the 10 of Swords again. So there is something beautiful happening, but at the same time there's also all of this happening, the 10 of Swords, this stabbing into your head. And so the 10 and the 7 again, there's a 17. But here with these 10, you have 27 swords. That's a 9. if you bring it down to 9, then you come into a completion, right? But the 17 again, remember, that's Aquarius. That's the new information that is coming to you. And so here with the 17, you see then the 8 and the 6 is the 14, and the 14 is, of course, that moment where we come into a balance, where we need to learn within myself. That's where I find the balance, right? That's where I can come. And the 14 is a 5, and the 5 was here, the heart, the beloved. So reconnect always to the heart when you feel this is happening. What is coming through the Mother Piece Tarot, the Daughter of Cups to the left? And the Daughter of Cups are the young generation that are helping you to see a new way of the 10 of Swords. Here we had Thelma and Louise. They're rather dying and jumping off the cliff than being captured, right? And so you see that here the 10 of Swords is different. And so the 10 and the 3 again, the 13. This new generation brings the love, right? Brings the love. That's like Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And you see that the 13 again, the 4 appears, and the 4 is that moment where we understand in the 4 elements that the magician plays with, but he's the 5th element, and that's why the beloved is the 5th. You are the number 5, right? And so the 10 and the 7, the 17, the 8 and the 3 is, of course, the 11, and the 11 is the inner teacher, is the inner knowing. The 11th of June, the 6th, right? Or the 6th of November could be a date here. So watch what's happening through the young generation, through this new love aspect that you can integrate through a Cancer, through a Scorpio, and through a Pisces. You maybe come into a sense of like, I don't need to think or overthink the things, right? I need to just go into the water. I need to heal. I need to constantly be aware that here the 10 and the 3 is also a 13. The 4 appears. So the 4 is that stability. And that you learn here with the water, the heart, right? The 5 and the 3 is an 8 to come into your higher consciousness. And altogether, of course, we have the 17. The 17 and the 3 is the 21. That's the world. The 21 and the 6 is the 27. The 9 is left here, the completion. So find your path. Find what it is that you want, and understand that you have a big message coming through Pluto, who has moved into Aquarius and stays for 20 years now. The 20 is here, 2020, right? And of course, we had 10 swords and 10 cups here, and so that's a 20 as well if I calculate it together. And so see, then out of there comes a 6T, and the 6T is the 6 and the 0, right? New communication in the field of consciousness, and in there an understanding that we have to be aware, that we have to be conscious, that we have to see from a higher perspective, from the bird's eye perspective, that sometimes, yes, things stab at me, but in that stabbing I have a choice, right? I rather let myself drop into the water, into the ocean, into the love, right? Into a consciousness that is holding the beloved. And that's why here all the water signs are coming. That's the water. That's where the 10 of Swords people are running or letting themselves drop into. It's a consciousness, right? And the 10 of Cups, that's also a big ocean that you can see through Mars in Pisces. But also see always in the 20 that this is man, humankind, right? That you are learning and understanding that here the 22 is the Fool. Uranus is speaking. Uranus through Aquarius is now letting us know that we really have to come into the beloved, into holding the heart high and do everything from there. Wow, I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we got the Sun in Pisces. Pisces came up through Mars in Pisces, 10 of Cups. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.